Hello there. Hello, hello. Okay, welcome. If you are live or if you are watching the replay with me somewhere in time and space, we're going to talk about energetic boundaries. This is something that I know every single highly sensitive person I have ever worked with, ever just talked to, ever struggles with this. This is something that is so important for every single being, and even more so for highly sensitive ones. And yet so many of us don't know what that even means, how to go about setting them, how to protect our energy, how to learn to really distinguish and decipher what's mine and what's yours, so that I'm not carrying you with me long after the interaction is over, so to speak, right? So you walk into a room and you just feel everybody and everything around you. Has this happened to you before? Right? Maybe you walk into the grocery store, or you walk into just the living room at your family's house, whatever the case is, and then you kind of really feel everybody's emotions, which can be really nice, really helpful, right? Really attuned to the environment around you. But it starts to become problematic when you then carry it with you, when it feels all of a sudden like it's on your shoulders and you can't really separate yours and theirs. And you're still carrying it with you hours later, sometimes days, sometimes even longer, right? So it doesn't have to be this way. We're going to talk about how to stop absorbing everyone else's emotions like a sponge. We want to be able to feel. And as highly sensitive people, this is our gift. So we can really feel and sense, but we don't need to take it on and carry it around with us. So that is the big distinction. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to explore the real reasons behind energy absorption and the truth about high sensitivity, and really the golden ticket, if you will, about crafting your own sacred energetic boundaries. Do not let this gift that you have go to waste, right? Since high sensitivity is a gift. So learning how to alchemize it and use it as a force to bring positivity and magic into your life like it wants to. All right. So welcome. For those that are new or need a reminder, I am Devin, and I am an integrative health expert and teacher, an Ayurvedic health advisor, and a holistic life coach. And I work with highly sensitive people to transform their high sensitivity from a source of shame and overwhelm and something that is wrong with them into the superpower that it's really meant to be. And my baby is the InnerSpark method. That is where all of the magic goes down. So you can learn more about that at theinnersparkmethod.com. And now let's get into a little bit about high sensitivity. Okay. High sensitivity is a gift. It is a gift. It is a gift. It's not a defect. It's not a weakness. It's not something to fix. It is not something to get rid of. It is not something that's anything that's wrong with us. It's not something to pathologize. It is a very necessary part of who you are. And every being is sensitive, some to more degrees than others, right? And so it is this beautiful natural part of nature, of the way that the elements express themselves through you. So for those of us that are highly sensitive, congratulations. You have more of that air and earthy, air and ether, not earthy, air and ether element. So this very expansive, very subtle, quick, energetic quality to you and your system. Hence the high sensitivity, hence the quick mind, hence the probably talking a lot with your hands, like I have been known to do. Really feeling and sensing things that other people miss, things that are not necessarily seen or, tangibly felt, but on this very subtle level. So being highly sensitive means that we're very highly attuned to subtleties, the emotions of others, the ambiance of a room, the subtle flavors and energetic qualities of foods, for example. And sometimes this can feel very overwhelming, and it can be hard to maintain your own energetic space. So let's pause and think. Why are energetic boundaries so important? And please type in, pipe up, drop comments. Why would they be so important? Especially for highly sensitive people. So we know some things about ourselves. I just laid them out. So without these energetic boundaries, this very highly attuned antenna of ours is really soaking up everything, and it's exhausting. And quite frankly, it is not sustainable. And that is a big part of the reason why so many of us end up in states of burnout multiple times throughout our lives sometimes, right? It's why we turn to a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms to find a sense of grounding and to numb our experience. Whether it's alcohol, food. So when we have healthy energetic boundaries, we're able to protect and preserve our own energy and our own space so that we can be in the world, we can be around people, we can feel and we can sense and we can still have this incredible gift and ability that we have, but we do so in a way that lets us be separate and detached and not become so entangled to the point where we're feeling for people rather with them. I'm sorry, yes. Feeling almost for them, we're carrying the stuff and processing it for them and carrying it around with, it's our bundle, our backpack to carry around. So it gives us a shield that allows us to be without super enmeshing and losing ourselves and draining our energy and our battery very quickly. But when our sensitivity is misunderstood and mismanaged, it can feel like we are we're victims to our own gifts, because the power, the gift is kind of turning against us because we don't fully understand the power. With great power comes great responsibility, and we're not fully understanding it. And it doesn't have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. When we can come to change our perspective and see that our high sensitivity is giving us greater access to the subtle aspects of life, including energy, including all of those just intangible, subtle, energetic parts of existence, we can start to understand that we need to do things differently in order to care for ourselves. So there's 5 aspects of our being that I teach in my program. It's the 5 aspects. We have our body, our emotions and energy, our mind, our connection with nature and sense of spirit, and then our relationships. And so by understanding that high sensitivity touches all 5 of these, all parts of our life, all parts of our being, we can come to understand the ways in which we need to create boundaries around those parts. And boundaries get to be these very beautiful, fluid things. They're not rigid, they're not fixed, they're not concrete, they're not meant to keep others out and, all, and I'm picturing like a great wall of to keep others out and to, protect us from the enemy. Boundaries get to be very fluid, and they get to change and adapt as you grow and change and adapt. But when we don't understand who and what we truly are as sensitive people, when we don't come to appreciate these aspects of ourselves, that we are this holistic, multi-dimensional being, it becomes really tough, right? So when we create a simple daily system that honors these aspects, the problematic symptoms associated with high sensitivity really diminish and go away. So the constant exhaustion, the feeling restless and keyed up and anxious, digestive issues, all of these things really do stem from poor energetic boundaries, among many other things. But really right there, the poor energetic boundaries cause us to, like I said, carry other people, carry things with us that aren't ours. They drain our energy. And so when that vital energy is going to processing things that aren't ours, carrying things that aren't ours, the body suffers. The body needs that energy for like the basic day-to-day living, right? Basic housekeeping, like digestive function, hormonal function. But if we're constantly in a state of stress or in a state of using all of this vital resource, this energy, well, other things have to suffer, right? Because it's like we have this much to use. And if it's going here, well, what's left over to take care of other things? Not much, right? Not much. So when we create a daily system that really is rooted in a clear understanding of high sensitivity and of ourselves as highly sensitive people. So the way that my high sensitivity expresses itself in my system, well, might be different than the way it expresses itself in your system, because we're two different people. We have two different backgrounds, two different bodies, two different life experiences. So when we really understand how it expresses itself through us, what it is, first and foremost, how it expresses itself through us individually, and then how our body, emotions, mind, connection with nature and spirit, and relationships are impacted by the way that high sensitivity shows up in our life. We get to create this beautiful system for ourselves each day, much in the way that we brush our teeth every day, right? Hopefully, if we want to keep them. We create daily habits that allow ourselves to really flourish and thrive in life, where rather than spending time and resources on trying to like toughen up or fix ourselves or, you know, just consume all of this crappy information that is most likely false and harmful to a highly sensitive system about modern norms, we get to actually just do things in a way that feels really good and create a greater sense of thriving and well-being in our lives. So, for example, when it comes to energetic boundaries, you can really have a daily check-in, something that I teach in my program. We call it our daily feelings container. And so you set aside a little time each day, and it's just you and yourself, and you're just checking in, gauging what you're feeling and what you need. Is what I'm feeling mine? Is it someone else's? How's my body doing? How's my mind doing? What's my sense of spirit and my connection to nature, something greater than myself at this time? How's my relationship with me, the world around me? It's a simple check-in, right? You consciously tune into how you're feeling and what your energy is like. And it gives you a time to really hear yourself, right? Not this other background cacophony that is happening at all times on planet Earth in 2023 and beyond, right? It's just getting louder and crazier. So pausing and tuning in and listening to what's happening. And this simple practice can start to create more awareness over what's happening for you, so that it doesn't start to build up and it's just like taking on a life of its own. And then before you know it, you're like burnt out and exhausted, right? Because it's like things happen so quickly, you've absorbed more than you can digest. And then you don't know, like, how do I move forward? I don't know what I'm doing. So with these pauses, you're giving yourself that time to digest. You're checking in with those energetic boundaries, resetting them, calling your own energy back. And there's many energy healing practices that we do as well in the InnerSpark method that I teach that are phenomenal. So if this is resonating with you, then you are going to love the InnerSpark method. And I invite you to check it out, theinnersparkmethod.com, or send me a message and we can discuss whether or not this is your ideal next step. So this program is a way to really come to understand, support, and embrace your high sensitivity. And you get to learn to be the guardian of simpler, more natural ways of living and being that I truly believe highly sensitive people are here and called to be at this really pivotal time on the planet. So you don't have to live behind a wall of shame. You do not have to struggle. You do not have to carry everyone else's stuff, right? Being highly sensitive is not a permanent life sentence to just kind of being chronically exhausted and overwhelmed. It is not. That is misunderstood and mismanaged sensitivity. So there is another way. All right. There's another way, and you are very gifted. And those gifts can greatly enhance your life and the lives of those around you when you come to really understand, support, and embrace it. All right. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And remember that you're not alone in your journey. And this gift of yours is just waiting to be unwrapped. So I'd love to hear from you. Please drop any questions in the comments and let's continue this conversation. And I will see you next time.